Congratulations, you're financially independent. You don't need life insurance. Hey everyone, Nick Nielsen, Certified Financial Planner. Just finished up a super busy month of meetings with clients and prospects. There were 3 big themes that came out of them. I wanted to share those themes with you. If many people had questions and concerns about it, you might as well. So hopefully you find this insightful. Number 1 theme was cash. People either had way too much or not nearly enough of it. So how do you determine how much cash you should have? Well, we believe that the only answer is the answer key is the financial plan. And we always tell the clients that we guide your dreams, determine your plan determines your portfolio. The portfolio is nothing more than the funding mechanism to fund your plan. Rule of thumb, 6 months of your monthly expenses in an emergency fund. If it costs you $8,000 a month to live, 8 times 6, $48,000. That's your emergency fund. In addition, we want to set aside money for any major purchases that you know is coming up in the next 2 to 3 years. If you have $20,000 earmarked for a car, add that on top of your emergency fund. All right, what type of account should my emergency fund be in? I would recommend a high yield savings account. Pretty good interest rates right now. On the other end of the spectrum, there were people that had way too much cash. And I think a lot of people got lured in by these higher interest rates, and they had more cash on their balance sheet than they should have. And these were dollars that missed out on the great opportunity that we've seen in the past year of the stock market because they were not allocated correctly. They bought into the hype and the mania of higher interest rates. So the financial plan is going to determine exactly how much money that you should have in cash, stocks, bonds, real estate at any given moment of time. The second theme that came away in July was life insurance, the idea of a life insurance want versus a life insurance need. For the families that we guide at Know My Plan, it's predominantly executives between the ages of 35 and 50. They're generally driving a large SUV or a minivan. They have 3 kids and a golden doodle. When we go through a very formulaic process, we give the family exactly how much life insurance we think they need. If one of them were to die prematurely, we want to make sure that the surviving spouse and the children are all taken care of and don't have to change their lifestyle. People love this. However, sometimes people have a life insurance want. We go through the process with them. We say, congratulations, you're financially independent. You don't need life insurance. 2 cases in the month of July, the family came back and said, I know that I don't need it, but I want it. And largely, these were people who were first generation wealth accumulators. They didn't receive an inheritance, and they wanted to make sure that they left an inheritance to their children and grandchildren. I think this is an awesome idea and something that they were incredibly passionate about. So for all the families out there, you need to calculate what does your life insurance need, because that's critical. But then if you have a place in your heart that specifically wants to leave a legacy through the gift of life insurance can be an incredible asset to leave to loved ones. Third and final theme of the month is going to be equity compensation. I'm not going to get into all the gritty details about RSUs versus ISOs. You know that you have company stock and it vests. And the big question is, what do we do once it vests? Once again, the answer key is the financial plan. The financial plan should be telling you what to do with these stock options upon vest. The last thing you want to do is make an emotional decision upon the day or the day after that they vest. So in large, your options are you sell, you go to cash, or you hold the stock. In the past 20 years, other than long-term care events, the most horrific things that I have seen have all come from concentrated equity portfolios. Yes, there have been scenarios where people hold a concentrated portfolio of stocks and they do incredibly well, right? There's all the examples of people in tech with Apple and Nvidia and Amazon who became extraordinarily wealthy through their employer stock. However, unfortunately, there's a lot more examples of people who lost a substantial amount of their wealth by holding on to their employer stock. I would always argue that if you listen to 15 or 20 conference calls of other companies consistently, you would probably be just as passionate about those stocks as you are with your company stock. You just get so much information about your company stock, sometimes it can be hard to sell. The best plan is a plan. Take the emotion out of it. Have a formulaic process that you go through every time that the stock sells. You know exactly what your game plan is going to be. It doesn't mean the game plan can't change. All good financial plans are flexible. But those are the big three for the month of July: equity compensation, life insurance needs versus wants, and cash. If you have found this video helpful, man, it would be incredibly awesome if you would consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button. It goes a long way. Second, we put out a weekly newsletter. We call it Dollars and Diagrams, and it is earmarked for executives 35 to 50 years old. It is real life insight, real financial planning tips, and some personal insights from me. If you would, please consider subscribing to Dollars and Diagrams. We'll put a link in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching.